There's something deeply unsettling about abandoned playgrounds. Look, maybe it's the idea that the place was once filled with laughter and joy, and how it easily can become lifeless and silent and, I don't know, wrong. But what if I told you that this wasn't just any playground? What if I told you it doesn't let people leave? Welcome to A Slide in the Woods, a game that takes something innocent and makes it horrifying. Today we're not just playing it, we're figuring out if we can actually survive. Okay, so let's set the scene. You're alone in the woods, no phone, no friends, just a single playground and an old slide. And for some completely logical reason, as a grown man, you decide, yes, I'm gonna slide down this thing. And at first, everything seems, well, fine. You slide, you land, you do it again, but then things start to change. The sun starts dipping, the air feels heavier, but you keep sliding, because apparently that's the only activity available in this town. Alright, let's talk about the mistake, because this is the part where you should just walk away. But instead, no. You keep sliding and suddenly boom, it's night. And if horror movies have taught us anything, it's that nighttime is when things go terribly wrong. Now at this point you start hearing like footsteps, like rustling, scuttling, but do you leave? Of course not, that'd be too easy. Instead you keep going, and that's when you see it. Your favorite part of the playground experience. A mutilated body bag right next to the thing you've been sliding down like an oblivious toddler. And here's the part where survival becomes questionable, because you have two choices. One, you walk away and live your best life, or two, you do what the game makes you do. You follow the horror because we, as protagonists, have zero self-preservation instincts. Yeah, so instead of running, we crawl in after it. At this point, survival's looking really slim. Alright, so you crawl through a slide and suddenly you find yourself in a massive underground structure, staring at an altar. And this is where things go full cult horror. Now, I'm sure you have many questions like, who built this? Why is it in the slide? And most importantly, why am I participating in this nonsense? But instead of running, we feed the pit. Yeah. This is the moment where any chance of survival is officially gone. The second you participate in a horror ritual, it's over. You're marked, cursed, and definitely not getting out of here in one piece. After completing this totally normal playground activity, it's time to leave. And so you just leave out the back door, down another tunnel, and you reconnect back to the red slide you were once sliding down. Alright, so that's the game. Let's just break this down. Could you survive a slide in the woods? Alright, so first criteria is like the physical difficulty. And I think that if you can crawl, you can technically escape. Like the most it takes is you just crawling through a couple tunnels to get to this altar and then crawling through a couple tunnels to get back. Psychologically, you will need therapy. No, there is no doubt about that. And supernaturally, you willingly fed a horror entity. That never ends well. I think best case scenario, you escaped. Worst case, you just become the next meal. So final answer, you could probably survive a slide in the woods if you have more muscle than a baby. You've watched at least a couple of sensitive contents on Instagram Reels, and you lock your doors at night and avoid any playgrounds for the rest of your life, you might survive. But hey, what do you think? Do you think you would survive? Would you have even touched the slide? Let me know in the comments.